श्री श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम् बोधप्रदाभ्याम् धृतमोक्षदाभ्याम् नमो नमः श्री श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम् नमो नमः नमो नमः नमो
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Basically, Nachiketa has been instructed two things. One is your self-effort. Self-effort so that you don't become a slave to your senses, you become master of your senses. Self-effort. And then, will self-effort alone will work? Says no. It's only grace that works. Since everyone is a combination of body and mind, the matter and energy, the tangible and the intangible, the manifest and unmanifest, you need two sets of rules to follow. One set of rule for the body, the most tangible, the limited. This works only with effort. And then another set of rules to handle the mind, the abstract, the unmanifest. That is through effortlessness. Often we confuse ourselves and do the reverse. In the mind we put effort, for the body we say, oh let it, whatever happens, happen. You have to exercise, it's an effort. Only when you exercise you find the strength in the body. And you have to relax, when you relax you find the strength in the mind. Not by working your mind out you find the mental strength. Mental strength or intelligence grows not by effort, but by deep contemplation, relaxation. In the same way, you have to do physical workout. Only then body becomes strong. Just eat and be a couch potato, you are not going to be strong. This discrimination is essential. So Nachiketa was asked to look into this factor. If your senses like horses are wild, untamed, they go the way they go, you will be ruined. So you should tame the horses. Like taming the horses, you should have a say over your body, physical body. And the mind and the consciousness, the way to train consciousness is meditation, is through breathing, pranayama. And the intellect How do you strengthen the intellect? He says, come on, wake up. Waking up is also effortless. Someone is sleeping, you just think, hey, wake up. Then they wake up. It just needs that call. You are in deep sleep. Do people have to take a stick and wake you up? Beat you up to wake you up? They just call your name. This is effortless effort. Come on, wake up. You have to draw someone's attention. How do you do? Children do it so well. At home, they come and they throw tantrums around you. If you are reading a newspaper, then they have important things to show to you. They want the attention. How do you draw attention? Is it so difficult? Hey, come on. Now, wake up. Wake up. See, someone, you are sitting here, your mind is all over the place, and someone says, hey, come on, wake up. How much time does it take you to come back? Like that. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. As that self is that way, very. You simply have to shake your head and get out of that cycle of getting caught up in the thinking process, thought process, and when you are awake, that is called Bodha Matra, just pure awareness. Bodha Matra. Bodha means there's a knowingness, that awareness, knowingness. Not the knowledge, knowingness is a quality of self. Are you with me? Wisdom is just the knowingness. Are you here? What? We discussed last year about Katha Upanishad. Right? Remember? How many of you remember? What? That's right, it comes in order. First Isha Upanishad, then Kena, then Katha. This comes third. Third step. What? This is Bodha Matra. Just the knowingness, not knowledge, the knower. From object of knowing to knowledge to knowingness to the knower. The 4 steps to the self. You can never make the divine an object of knowing. This is what people are trying to do in the whole planet. God as an object of knowing says, no. Can I see God? Have you seen God? When people ask this question, it's so stupid. Self cannot be an object of knowing. Are you with me? It's the knowingness itself. So, Nachiketa, wake up. It's in death, the knowingness is not there. In sleep, just like in sleep, your knowingness is absent, right? Liberation is exiting with the knowingness. Like witnessing your sleep. You might have had one or two glimpses here and there, maybe in an advanced course sometime, somewhere, that you're sleeping and you're knowing you're sleeping. How many of you have had this? Just that glimpse once or twice somewhere. You are sleeping, but and also you're knowing you're sleeping. This is it's little humorous and funny. Sitting God in His plan, in the mechanism, He did a big blunder. He put the senses and made them only outward. It's a design mistake. They had kept humor also here. God, while creating senses, did a mistake that He made them only go outward. So, they only keep going outward. So the senses are made such, they only go outward into sense object. Some, one or two, a few people, Kashchit Dhira, to say like that, one in a million, brave one, who turn the senses inward and get the glimpse of the Creator. Because the Creator is hiding inside, and He created the senses so that you only go outward all the time. There is a design mistake, that's what I say. It's the way senses are made, what to do. But there is some Kashchit, some one in a million, a rare person, rare brave one, turns the senses inward and he gets the glimpse. The self-existent Lord peers the senses to turn outward. Thus we look to the world outside and see not the self within us. A sage withdrew his senses from the world of change and seeking immortality looked within and beheld the deathless self. The immature run after sense pleasures and fall into the widespread net of death. But the wise, knowing the self as deathless, seek not the changeless in the world of changes. Atadhira amrutatvam viditva. Atadhira amrutatvam viditva. Seeking immortality. Whatever one seeks outside is immortality. Because we want the pleasure not to end. No sense, nobody ever want any sense pleasure to end forever. End at any time, but they end. You want the pleasure to be there all the time, but they don't stay. You can't stay there. They come and they just go. What is the real seeking? The seeking is immortality. Means a love that never diminishes, a pleasure that never vanishes. That you can only find turning inward, deep within. So in the world of changes, you are seeking the changeless. Anybody seeking anything is only seeking the self. I often say, everyone is a spiritual seeker on this planet. Why? Because everybody is seeking only love, only bliss. But you are seeking where it is not there. You remember the Mullah Nasruddin story? Huh? Mullah Nasruddin was searching for something outside his house. So someone asked him, "What are you searching, Mullah?" "I'm searching for my key." "But you're searching it on the road." He said, "There is more light here, so I'm searching it here." "But where did you lose?" "Inside the house." "But there it is dark there, I can't search there." This is what we are doing. We are searching for things which is not there. And that's why many are disappointed, frustrated. Anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Anityam, this is temporary, this is the changing world. Asukam, there is no joy in it. Having attained this, turn towards me. Don't keep looking for joy there. Be in it and yet not be immersed in it. Then usually they give the example in the whole of Vedantic text. They give an example of a drop of water on top of a lotus leaf. How one should live is like the lotus leaf. Lotus leaf is in water, and on top of it there is water, but it is never wet. It doesn't get wet. It doesn't get, what do you call it? It doesn't get moist. The leaf is there, still untouched, unattached. So in the world, live in this world which is miserable with a smile. How can you be smiling in a miserable world is when you are not attached to things around here. When you don't take the world inside your head. You can be in the world, but world should not be inside you. There are people who run away from the world. They just get frustrated and run away from the world. They have no bliss. They don't get any bliss. Many recluses do that. They run away from the world. And they have no joy. And those who are completely lost in the world, they have no joy. But the real skill, the skill of yoga is being in it and yet not be affected by it. This is the skill that one has to learn. Being in it and not being affected by it. So 1 in a million turn their mind inward and behold the non-changing Spirit, the Lord, the divinity within. This question will come to if you tell anybody, I heard Katha Upanishad, they'll ask, what is the size of the soul? You will say, I don't know. You can't say that. The size of the soul is the size of your thumb. Not the whole thumb, just the first ring of the thumb. This is the size of the soul. And this is present in the heart, not the physical heart. We have 2 hearts. This is a secret. This is a very guarded secret which is instructed as a secret instruction. There are 2 hearts with us. One is the physical heart that pumps the blood and circulation. Another is the emotional heart. Emotional heart. The heart of the subtle body. in the subtle body, like subtle body is in the physical body. Similarly, isn't it? Subtle body is on the physical body. Like the causal body, which is the Purusha, which is the size of a thumb, is hidden in the subtle body, in the heart of the subtle body. So size of the soul is the size of the thumb. Now, there are different ways for the soul to exit the body while dying. Wake up and don't have to write, just listen to it. A soul which do not have that much merit, their subtle body goes out through the anal way. When they die, the last minute of their death, they excrete and there is big gas coming out and their soul exits through the anal. These souls are of very low spirit. Mostly exit through the mouth. When people die, the jaws drop, mouth open. The second door for the soul to exit is mouth. The third is eyes. Eyes roll and then they exit through the eyes. And then a yogi's soul, yogi spirit exits through the top of the head. Angushtamatram Purusho. This Purusha, which is the size of the thumb, is not made up of a material body but ethereal body. Ethereal body. Aprakrita Divya Rupam. Aprakrita, non-material, energetic, divine light. It's made up of the body of light. It is present in the heart of everybody, not the physical heart, but the subtle heart. It is present and it exits through the various ways. That is not in the book Upanishad, but this is it's different how it, yeah. So now this soul, when it exits, how does it exist? First, from the physical body, sensations disappear. Physical sensation goes down. That sense of touch goes away. Then taste goes away. Smell goes away. Sight and sound remains and it gets into the emotional body. From there it gets into the causal. In the emotional body, all the thoughts and all that emotions are stuck there and they all stick to this thumb-shaped being like a glue, like a collapsed balloon. You know, how does the balloon is so big, and when it collapses, all that figure, everything in the big balloon remains, right? Isn't it? See, a big balloon, it has all these big words and all that, and when the air is out, what does it do? Those impressions don't go away, they collapse, and then this exits the physical body. Now, there is no way to erase these things that is written in them when it is collapsed. It has to expand, only then you can erase them. And that is why human life is so important, to erase the impressions in the mind. There is this, they say in India, if you go to Banaras, you have to leave something that you crave for there. You make a pilgrimage. So if you love eggplants a lot, then once you make a visit to Benares, Kashi, you have to leave the eggplant. From then you take a vow, I will not eat this. So that, what is that? Like, you have to get rid of aversion, you have to get rid of cravings one by one. They don't say that to young children, young people or teenagers. No. Beyond 50, after 50 years of your age, then you start dropping one by one all those things which you really crave for, especially in the food and those things, so that you don't carry those impressions till you are lost. And this is the path of liberation. Ritual in liberation, they do that. Because if you are so fond of eggplant, and then you may land up inside an eggplant. Ruler of time past and future means it can recollect. When you do eternity process, sometimes when you get just little touch of that spirit, that's when those memories open up. Sometimes it's not there, and sometimes the memory gets erased. It's okay. So it's the ruler of time, past and future. All the sankalpas, when they touch this spirit which is of the size of the thumb, they get fructified. Your blessings, when you bless people, what is happening? You are in touch with that source of electricity, then the blessing happens. Are you with me? Many people's desires get fulfilled. Knowingly, unknowingly, they are in touch with the source. Otherwise, there is no way anybody's desire will ever get fulfilled. And the self, master of, it's a ruler of time past and future. To see whom is to go beyond all fear, is the self indeed, for the self is supreme. The thumb-sized being, a flame without smoke, ruler of time past and future, the same on this day as on tomorrow, is the self indeed, for the self is supreme. Like the space inside a pot, when the pot breaks, becomes one with the space all around it. The individual self and universal self are not two things, they merge in each other. The sun coming into your room through your window is total, is full, is the same sun that is outside. Now, if you say, oh, the sun has come inside my house, how it can go anywhere else? I say, it is a foolish question. The same sun can go into 1,000,000 homes, yet the sun does not, it goes completely into each home. Isn't it? You can't say the sun has come inside my house and how it can go to somebody else's house. Because you see the total sun inside your house. No, your sun can come inside your house 100%, and it can go into neighbor's house also 100%. And in your own home, in another room, it will come 100%. In the same way, the same Atman spirit is in 100% in you, in everybody. Somewhere it is shining very bright, and somewhere it is little cloudy. Somewhere the window is shut and thick curtains are put. That's it. Now, first you saw the self inside, but when you come out, or once you see that, you see that is what is everything around. The sun is made up of that. The sun is in the fish, the water, the tree. The entire universe is filled with that same being. The adorable one who is seated in the heart rules the breath of life, and to him all the senses pay their homage. When the dweller in the body breaks out in freedom from the bonds of flesh, what remains? For the self is supreme. We live not by the breath that flows in and out, but by him who causes the breath to flow in and out. You have experienced body different from breath when you do pranayama, when you do meditation, when you do kriya especially. Body is here, body is lying and the breath is flowing as a separate entity. If we can address the difference between body and breath, then we address the difference between breath and the mind. There is another layer. And then you address the mind when there is no thought, and then the emotion, then beyond the emotions also. So layer by layer, you can become aware of this. Layer by layer, the differences become very clear from one to another. And first you say, this is not me, this is not me, this is not me, and then all this is me. Analysis and synthesis. We live not by the breath that flows in and out, but him who causes the breath to flow in and out. Now, O Nachiketa, I will tell you of this unseen eternal Brahman. Is the soul of the same size in an elephant and in an ant? Yes. The self is again the same in an ant as well as in an elephant. Size does not matter. But what is this thumb size thing? This is a mystery, I tell you. The spirit is the size of the thumb, yet it can mold itself into an ant, and it can be in an elephant as well. But in human beings it is, thumb impression, thumb print everybody takes. Why it is so? Why the thumb is so unique? Why? Why not take print of the nose? Why not take print of the palm? Maybe palm, put the palm. Think about it. The shining of the sun, he shines because of his existence. Sun is shining. Because of his existing, moon is shining. Everything is shining because of him. And similarly, he is not the object of senses. Because he is present, you are able to see. Because of his presence, you are able to see. He makes you see. He is not the object of sight. Kutoyam agnihi. What will this little fire I light will show him? See, it is such, they are doing an action and ridiculing it in the mantra. They light a lamp and they are showing Aarti and say, what will this Agni do? The fire will do. Because it's him. Because of him, this is shining. This Agni, this fire cannot exist without the self, without the divinity. Okay. The tree of eternity has its roots above and its branches on earth below. Its pure root is Brahman, the immortal form, whom all the worlds draw their life, and whom none can transcend, for the self is supreme. The cosmos comes forth from Brahman and moves in him. With his power it reverberates like thunder crashing in the sky. Those who realize him pass beyond sway of death. In fear of him fire burns, in fear of him sun shines, and cloud rains, and the wind blows. In fear of him death stalks about to kill. Fear is associated with death. So here they are addressing that aspect also. Is death fears the self. Of which one is afraid? So when you are latching on to the self, there is no fear, because death fears the self. If one fails to realize Brahman in this life, before the physical sheath is shed, he must again put on a body in the world of embodied creatures. Brahman can be seen as in mirror in a pure heart, in the world of ancestors as in dream, in the Gandharva world as the reflection in trembling water, and clear as light in the realm of Brahma. This is another very important verse. Yada sarve pramuchyante kamas yesya hridistita atha martyo mrito bhavat tyatra brahma samashnute. When all knots that strangle the heart are loosened, the mortal becomes immortal. This sums up the teachings of the scriptures. From the heart, they radiate 101 vital tracks. From the heart, there radiates 101 vital track. One of them rises to the crown of the head. This way leads to the immortality, the others to death. The Lord of Love, not larger than the thumb, is ever enshrined in the hearts of all. Draw him clear out of the physical sheath as one draws the stalk from the munja grass. Know thyself to be pure and immortal. Know thyself to be pure and immortal. Nachiketa learned, the narrator, the Nachiketa learned from the king of death the whole discipline of meditation. Freeing himself from all separateness, he won immortality in Brahman. So blessed is everyone who knows the self. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Who sees the soul? The soul itself, it sees itself. You know, the seekers are asked not to be too fond of pet animals in the last days of life. You can have pets, but when you know you are getting old, you are really fag end of life, then don't get too attached to those things. There is a story of Jada Bharat, you know that, no? There's a Jada Bharat, there's a great saint who was liberated, but he got so attached to a deer. In the end, he saved a deer and became so attached to the deer. And his mind was so hollow and empty, but the only thing that would pop up is the deer. And then he was born as a deer. It's a very, very famous story about Jada Bharat, and people say they warn, the seekers usually warn, oh, look what happened to Jada Bharat. Be careful. When the physical body is there, as long as the physical body is there, there is also a thin causal, subtle body as well. Otherwise, physical body cannot exist, only with the causal body. So in the physical body, there is also a subtle causal body. Without that, the subtle body, the causal spirit cannot exist. And that is why it is called Lesha Avidya. It is just that little trace, like you have a butter in your hand and you throw the butter out, but then that butter ball's little traces are there, and it is essential for existence. So that some little vasana is essential. And that little vasana usually of the previous incarnation, of another incarnation. Those things remain. And it is kept by the nature to have some function. Otherwise it's important, you cannot function. So as I said yesterday, all the three gunas are essential. Sattva, Rajas and little tamas is essential. So that little sleep, without that, this body cannot exist. Physical body cannot exist. Now this is Purusha, Angushtamatram Purusho Antaratma. Antaratma, Purusha is Angushtamatram. That is why it said two Purushas are there. One is, okay, you understand like this. There is water vapor and there is cloud. And there is water and there is ice. Now ice and water are the same. But ice is like consolidated. So Antaratma, Purusha, is a consolidated. And Paramatma is like the water vapor. There's humidity. There's humidity here in the atmosphere, otherwise nothing, you cannot exist. But this humidity is different from a cup of water. So more consolidated here. But you can't say, oh, that is different from this. This is the same as that. You see what I'm saying? There is no difference at all between the water and the water vapor. Yes, all the souls rush to get a body. The moment a union has, many times two people get attracted, it is the soul that is bringing them together, the soul which wants to come. They pick up this guy and that guy and try to bring them together. And when the child is born, many families break up. Many people break up. You know why? That soul's purpose is done. It just wanted to bring those two people and came down to the world. And then they say, then suddenly after a childbirth, the husband and wife who are the father and mother, suddenly they feel, oh, what a mistake I did. We had nothing in common. Like they don't feel any sense of belongingness. Suddenly everything goes away. And I see this happening. All the time. The Brahman is that which everything is made up of. It's space, like the space. In space, everything exists. Even if sun is there, where the sun is in the space, like the Purusha is in the Brahman. Prakriti is in the Brahman. Prakriti is the manifest. This is Prakriti. Purusha is the size of a thumb. These two things exist where? In Brahman space. So the whole thing about Upanishad is going to the Brahman. And when you go to the Brahman, you encounter the Purusha also. It has to go through that. You have to know this, you have to know. And then there are Devas. Devas are the subtle beings that allow us to go even there. And then before that is the Pitrus, the ancestors. If the ancestors are not pleased, they form like a shield for a person. They don't even let you go inside. So, in one way, this is such a strange world. In one way, when a person goes deep in meditation, it brings so much comfort to the ancestors. On the other side, it's like a father being so jealous of his own son sometimes. You don't understand why they are jealous. Do you understand? Sometimes does it happen? Some cases I see here and there, the father is jealous of his son on becoming a better businessman. He tries to cut him down, size him down. Insecurity. I mean, this is not, you think it's not normal. Isn't it? Does it happen here also like that? Huh? It happens here in America. In India it happens. Huh? Especially successful businessmen, they keep their children under the thumb and I don't know whatever. They're not very happy, proud that their children should progress. So there could be things like that, And all that can be overcome. That's why Guru is essential. Guru, that's why he said, without Guru there is no gati, there is no progress in this path. Either you should have a Guru or a very good spiritual son or daughter. If you have a very good spiritual son or daughter, they will help you out. Or you should have a Guru. For sure it will happen. So, they usually say son as include daughter also. I'm sure, because somewhere in the middle they said, oh, there is no son, there is no mukti, you can't get liberated if you don't have a son. This is a wrong notion. Son means it's like both son and daughter. Why? Because son and daughter, they are very spiritual, very loving and caring, and they are so devoted. An amount of their practice also reflects onto the immediate ancestors. Because that merit of having such a son or daughter goes to the parents. And their spirit gets that energy. Like inheritance. Like in the gross world, if your father or mother is rich, you inherit them after they're gone. It's just automatic thing, you inherit things, right? In the subtle, it's the other way around. Children, if they get better, the parents inherit it. If the children's doing good work, good thing, a portion of it goes the reverse. So you take the material from them and you give something of their spirit. In India, there is it's a very common thing everybody says. If someone is doing well in their life, they say it is the merit of our parents. Isn't it? As I say, our parents, our ancestors did something very good, so we are enjoying our life now. Like they put a good mango grove and then we are enjoying the fruit like today. So in the past, our parents did something good, some good karma, and we are benefiting from that, they say. In the same way, here we do some good karma, it goes to them. That is why it's called Shraddha. Shraddha means the ceremony you do, the memorial ceremony every year you do is called Shraddha. Means you doing with faith, with honoring the ancestor, you honor them, you do something in faith for them. And Shraddha is not just giving something, but that. Now, very late. Come on, sit down, take your seat. Yeah, put it down. How can we stay in wonder? Oh, when I don't answer your question, you can keep wondering about it.
OK， 对，我们对，OK， 对，好嘞，我们这一讲里面。像我们简短的跟你的同伴分享一下，你听到什么？喝一点水，喝一些水。4天我们做一个整理。当你开始讲的时候，东西就出来了不要怀疑你听到些什么。好，今天转会给你的同伴2、3个人或3、4个人，简短的去分享你听到些什么，整理一下这一讲或这4天所讲下来的东西，任何你还记得。我们做一个整理，那待会儿会帮大家做一个整理的4天的部分。那我们也可以开始进到分组讨论室里去。可以开始到会高入。
可以小课室先哈。
先进到小室。然后我们也可以整理一下这4天所讲的东西。
讲一下这4天所。
有吗 ？OK。好，军队可以的。有吗？有没有什么要分享的，或者要问的？有吗？有没有什么要提问或者要分享？有吗？有没有什么不清楚的？哪些部分？有没有？
有老师。
你说，
是经纬体跟因果体。
OK。有没有发现，当你睡着了，对吗？然后你醒过来的时候，你突然间有精神、有体力，对吗？然后身体得到修复，身体要能够修复，是因为它有足够的气血、足够的能量，身体才能修复，对吗？这第一点对。经过1天的疲劳工作，接触很多的人和事物，我们内心产生很多的印象、很多的情绪、很多的压力、很多的念头，对吗？对，可以点头，不对摇头。我要知道你们到哪里，我要讲到哪里，这样 OK？ 对，点头，不对摇头，对哈 ，OK？所以这些情绪、这些压力、这些念头、这些想法、这些都跑去哪里了？如果你没有把它清理掉，其实它一直在影响着你，对吗？可是经过你睡一觉起来，某种程度你会把它忘掉或者消失掉。只是有一些时候，它用做梦的方式显现出来。有没有发现，如果你今天睡着了，你发现你有很多梦，对吗？而你会发现你的梦常常有几种特质，一个是跟你在白天生活有关，你想要见的一个人，你想要吃的一个东西，你想要做的一件还没有做的，这些未完成的欲望、未完成的心愿，是心灵的一种压力。当你睡着的时候呢，它让你能够跨越你的身份角色，跨越你的逻辑思考，跨越你的理性，然后呢，这一些心灵的压力就被释放掉了。你会发现有一些时候，你可以用飞的咻，你可以飞来飞去，或者你可以吃到你想要吃的东西，和你想要见的人在一起，对吗？然后很开心。当这个能量、这个心灵的压力被转化的时候，它就消失。然后你有发现，当你醒过来之后呢，你发现你非常的精神有体力，对吗？请问你在睡觉的过程当中，你做了什么来换回，然后找到这些能量呢？你要去巴萨买菜才有菜的，对吗？那你刚才去哪里买了1 kg、2 kg 啊？1个小时、8个小时的修这种能量呢？你没有把手插进去哦，哪里有能量？电handphone要插进，对不对？那你 charge 哪里呢？为什么睡觉 你睡觉 meditation 静心和死亡是非常类似的。我们来讲这个东西的差别在哪里？有没有发现，当你睡着醒来的时候，在你睡之前，你知道你还有这个身体，对吗？你还有这个身份角色。当你睡着的时候，你是谁？你在哪里？你是什么？当你知道，你就没有睡觉，知道吗？当你醒过来，你才知道，对吗？在这个过程当中呢，你的身体躺在床上，如果你没有梦，你的心灵就是我们的所谓的精微体，让我们产生情绪、想法、念头、记忆的这个部分，如果有做梦，表示它有在运作，某种程度是一种记忆的释放，或心灵的压力的一种释放。它可以是跟你今天的生活或过去几十年甚至前世都有关的一种压力的释放的过程。它也甚至有能力去抑制未来。多少人有这种经验？你在梦里面梦到一些梦境一些人，对吗？然后接下来的几天你就发生跟你梦的一样，有没有那种经验？梦也有抑制未来的能力，这是另外一种梦。因为我们的心灵很有趣，它介于我们的肉身这个物质的世界和我们的灵魂、我们的因果的世界、自因的世界、意识的世界之间的桥梁。它如果连接到那里，你就产生抑制未来的能力，甚至让你的心愿去实现的能力。好，那在这个过程中呢，当你睡着的时候，你知道你的灵魂跑去哪里吗？不晓得，但它回到了生命的源头。当这个灵魂回到生命的源头，碰触到一下下。如果你去看你的睡眠时间，你真正睡的深层的睡眠时间可能就很短，对吗？我们有动眼期、非动眼期、深睡期和浅睡期、浅眠期的那种阶段。你的深睡期可能没有很长，可是你醒过来之后，你发现有精神的体力。简单的原理就是因为我们的灵魂，这时候虽然它只有在肉身的时候，它只有一个拇指的大小一节，但是它可以超越我们的物质世界，进到意识的世界里面，碰触到，然后带来能量。这跟我们的在静心是一样的道理。当我们在静坐的过程、静心的过程当中，可能就20分钟、半小时，甚至有时候只有15分钟、10分钟都没有关系。你静心结束的时候，你会发现怎么样呢？变得很精神，好像睡了一觉，有没有这种感觉？这时候就是静心，就是一个有意识、就业性的方式，有意识的慢慢去察觉你的身体，方向你的身体，察觉你的念头、想法，方向你的念头，然后去超越我们的，这叫我们的肉身，然后我们的心灵，然后进入我们的灵魂，然后灵魂回到它的源头而产生能量的一个过程。死亡也是如此。我们有3个身体呢，这是我们的肉身，对吗？我们的精微体就是我们的情绪、想法的这个地方，还有我们的灵魂。在死亡的过程当中呢，有趣的，我们这几天一直在重复的讲，对吗？第一个是身体的疼痛，有几个议题；第二个是割舍不下的情感，对吗？你放不下你的家人啊，你的事业、你的工作，你放不下的东西。第3个是业力会显现出来，各种的业力会影响你的死亡，应该这样说。还有对未知的恐惧会影响你的死亡，你怎么好死的这个过程。所以在这个过程当中，我就做了一个很好的形容，奥义书里面提到的，我们今生今世来做人，就表示我们有前世未了的心愿也好，还有未了的恩情也好，或者你给别人的承诺也好，不管是来讨债或还债都好，这就是一个未了的业力。记得业力是一个非常中性的字，只是你让你产生愉快，你才能善业；让你产生不愉快，叫恶业。基本上，业力是中性的一个字，它只是你做的一个事情产生的一些印象而已。那在这个过程当中，奥义书里面的形容是什么呢？因为那居佩达这个小男孩，他想要得到一个解脱的方法。如何解脱呢？这里一再也提到，回到本我的状态，回到那永恒的状态。 身体是短暂无常，随时变化，随时会离开，对吗？你的心灵、身体受到这时间和空间的影响，对吗？你现在在这里，你不会马上，等一下我就变到家里了。你要回到家，你要到美国，要到中国，你需要一段时间、空间的转换，对吗？它受到时间、空间5种元素的束缚。但心灵呢？你的经纬体呢？你现在人在这里马来西亚，对吗？你想到你去年跟谁去台湾玩，你的心可以跑到台湾哦，然后你马上可以创造那美好的感受，对吗？你可以马上跑到50年前，我的童年，我的好朋友在那里讲什么话，做什么事，你马上就会过去的。所以心灵的时间和空间的维度又比较不一样，让你的意识可以处在一个没有时间、没有空间的状态。也有在那个状态的时候，你是没有任何的业力、没有任何的印记的影响。所以，当你能够让你的心灵有意识的进入你的心灵进入本我、进入意识的状态的时候，那就是你在消除业力最简单的有，也或许就是我们真正能获得解脱、究竟涅槃的一个方法。我们在静心的时候，你在静心的时候有没有什么烦恼吗？有什么痛苦吗？有什么恐惧？当你进入静心的状态，就像当你睡着的时候，有没有发现在真实生活当中，有人说一些话、做一些事会让你伤心难过的，会让你生气、让你不舒服的，有吗？有。同样，你想象哦，同样这个人或这件事情继续发生，而你睡着了，它会影响你吗？你睡着了，别人在讲你，你会生气吗？你会最想，我跟你生气了。你睡着，你现在想象你已经睡着了，别人在讲你的坏话啦，在做一些让你不舒服的事情，你会生气吗？为什么不会？因为你听不到。只要没有心灵的作用，就不会产生情绪。这是第一点。还有呢？还有另外一种状态是什么呢？别人讲同样的事情，讲同样的话，如果你完全不在意它，你有情绪吗？你会生气会埋怨吗？不会，因为你没有紧握着某种的身份角色，对或错，应该或不应该那种逻辑那种观念。如果你不紧握着，任何外在发生的事情也不会让你影响，对吗？它不影响你，你不在意，它也就不会产生业力。没有业障，没有业力的事情，是因为你在意，因为你紧握着不放，那才产生业力，产生一个印记，对吗？睡着了，你不在意，对吗？你没有听到，你不知道，你也不会在意，你没有办法在意。但并不是这件事情没有发生，对吗？了解吗？第4种状态是，它发生，它就在你面前，它就讲这些话，做这些事情，对吗？然后呢，他讲这些话，做这些事情，你马上产生情绪，对吗？因为我还是在意我的，我还活着，你讲难听的话，我还生气吗？对吗？这时候就是你的修为了。你要让别人拿别人的错误、拿别人的行为来惩罚自己，而造成不好的业力呢？还是你希望透过别人的不好的行为，讲这难听的话，做这不好的不愉快的事情，来帮助你消除你的业力？如果他没有做这个事情，他没有讲难听的话，做让你伤心难过的事情，你没有机会消除这种业力，因为这些印象潜藏在你深层的意识里面，你不知道它藏在哪里。而当它出来的时候，你的念头出来，你的情绪出来，对吗？这时候就是一个选择，到底你要让这个业力在你的心灵发芽变大呢，还是你要借由另外一种方式，借由这个时候把它转化？转化的意思是什么呢？同样的这个人讲同样的事情，做同样的事情或讲同样的话，已经不再影响。当他不再影响你的时候，你的业力就过去，就消失。所以我们常说，在你面前说难听的话、做不好的事情的这个人是谁，知道吗？叫做神，叫做菩萨。记得在上面那个要拜，在前面这里要拜，知道吗？那个还要花点香、点蜡烛、花水果的哦，这个面前这个不用的哦，而且他常常你看不是很好吗？所以这个前面这更要拜，知道吗？这个好好的拜， 这真的哦。你知道他讲难听的话，让你很生气，这种各种样子，他很辛苦，知道吗？如果你有机会插各种的那种检测的仪器啊，你会知道他的脑波是怎样，他的心跳是怎样，他的血压是怎样，他其实很辛苦，知道吗？他表演给你看，这时候你可以选的，要跟他一样，还是不要跟他一样，要做哪一种？所以拜他咯，谢谢啊，感恩啊，谢谢啊，什么我知道，这样不是很好吗？那他就可以帮助你消除这种业力。1次、2次、3次不断的练习之后呢，同样的事情发生，它已经不再影响，那就表示这一关你过了。当你过了这一关，当死亡来临的时候呢，它不会是你牵挂或在意的人，那你就可以很好的离开。否则这些印记就会在你的心灵里面影响你的心灵，没有办法放手。好吗？所以尤其在亲子关系中格外的明显，也是如此。这里也特别提到，面对死后是什么呢？死亡是什么呢？或者我们在修什么？其实真正对死亡而言，我们已经说过很多次了，死亡的过程其实是非常祥和、非常安详、非常舒服、非常愉快。只是你们都忘记了，我也忘记了，原来死可以这么爽。死为什么那么爽，你知道吗？第一个，因为这个身体已经脏、已经臭了，已经不堪使用了。你想象就好，如果你的身体又脏又臭，你想去换个衣服，你想去洗个澡，对，用了几十年的身体，一定不会像 baby 那样的，对吗？一样，某种程度有一些损伤，有一些病痛，有一些不愉快的东西，甚至某种程度的疼痛或者器官的衰败或腐烂都可能。所以死亡本身是一个愉快性，因为可以离开这个肮脏的地方，了解吗？所以死亡并不可怕，可怕是你想死死不了。我不是跟你开玩笑，是你想死而死不了，这才是真正可怕的事情。我看过很多的案例，我知道有一个朋友的婆婆90几岁，她竟然常常在心里面跟她祖先求，请你把我带走，请你把我带走。所以好死是这么珍贵的一件事情，那怎么
安乐死
啊？
安乐死，
安乐死是一种显象，安乐死也好，自杀也好，知道有一些事情，我们遇到的痛苦本身是有价值，是有意义。如果你不去经历这个痛苦，不去经历这个事件，经历这个人，你不会长智慧，或者你的识别没有办法唤醒。跟以前读书的时候，有时候会被当掉，要重考，有没有这种经验？你被当掉的啊，不及格的啊，要重考的哦，那一样的道理。安乐死当然是一个选择，自杀也是类似。安乐死或许是你比较头脑清楚、有自由意志的说一种方式，但基本上在吠陀的经典，在瑜伽里面所提的，就是每一个人来到这世上，他已经有一个固定的岁数、固定的寿命。在你的寿命还没有终、还没有寿终、还没有正寝之前，你该经历的、你该面对的、学习经历或许真的是疼痛身体的疼痛，或内心的煎熬或痛，但你要选择去相信这些痛苦或这些煎熬也受不了。当然我不反对我们看法，那我觉得它跟自杀有类似的地方，那只是从这样的观点来看。那回过头来看，要好死，其实就是如何好好的活着。趁我们还活着的时候，第一个是消除那些不好的业力，然后呢，去建立好的业力。简单的说，坏事不要做，好事多做。然后呢，记得好事坏事也会成为业力，也会成为心灵的负担。 把你的好事和坏事都交给你的神或佛菩萨，或交给你的上司，让我们再一次的回到空的状态，回到你真实的本性的状态。那是你没有业力的状态，那是一个自由、内在自由的状态。那时候你就可以选择要不要再沉淀在里。所以这一次这几天给大家小小的功课，还记得吗？如果昨天死了，或者明天要死，你还有什么不安？什么是你放不下的人事？今天其实你可以常常去检视，你看到这个人，你在扮演这个角色的时候，你有什么样的情绪？情绪是一个很好的指标。如果你内心还有一些担心、害怕，或者还有一些怨恨、放不下或纠葛、不舒服的，那表示你的心还是有纠结。以各种方式去化解，来用忏悔的。有些时候我们真的需要跟我们身边的人忏悔，包括我们自己的小孩。我们真的是还没有准备的情况之下把小孩生出来，真的还没有学会是慢慢把小孩带大，对吗？在这个过程当中，我们都可能曾经犯错，或者伤害了他。在我们还活着，他也活着的时候，甚至有些时候你自己也忘了，对方也可能忘了，忘了就忘了。但是如果他还浮现在你内心里面，去圆满这段关系，怎么圆满呢？多去，昨天教大家回去做的功课也去做吗？去观察你身边的人，去看他需要什么，他想要什么，你能帮他做什么？同时去察觉你的内心，当你在做他所需要的，讲以他的方式，能够明白的方式去表达的这个过程当中，在给予的过程当中，同时去察觉你的内心。还有简单的比喻，你们有没有谈过恋爱？有那种反应的有没有？有。没有关系。有没有暗恋的经验，或者失恋的经验？有没有失恋的经验？失恋有吗？有吗？一次就成功了。如果你发现你有失恋的经验，你看到你的前男友和你的前女友跟别人在一起的时候，你感觉怎么样？多少人看到前男友和前女友跟别人在一起，哇，手牵手啦，又亲密啦，甚至结婚啦，或者是你的前上司、老板，对啊，等一下我讲完先哈。然后呢，你的感觉是有没有人感觉是酸酸的？如果酸酸的，表示你的心还没有放下；如果是甜甜的，放下的差不多。如果你内心还带出更多的感恩和祝福，哇，是内心哦。然后因为这件事情增长更多的智慧，表示相对的这个东西圆满。如果他还没有到那个状态的时候，我们还可以做一点点努力。怎么努力呢？你可以问他你需要什么，或者你可以在内心每一次静坐结束之后，静观呼吸，静坐结束之后，去观想他，给他笑容，给他爱，给他光，这些东西，去祝福他。有一些层面不是人可以做的事，所以在今天一下来之后，有你需要努力的地方，你努力去做了，剩下的呢，你可以去祈祷，你可以去祷告，你可以去拜拜，或者你可以去献上你的祝福，让恩典在你生命中。那你可以在这段关系里面能够找到圆满，所以这一业力就消失了。然后把这些好的、坏的都交给神，交给上司，你才能够真正得到自在。不然做很多好事之后，你会不自觉开始很厉害，我什么都可以，你看走路也会有风的。对，不要做这种事情。记得你所有的成就不是你的，是你的努力和老天爷或者你心目中的神或佛菩萨或上师的祝福，这样就好。好，结束了，放下，继续往前，结束了，放下，继续往前。不管那成与败，好与坏，恶与错，那你才能够真正的自在，否则它会成为你很多执着的地方。还有你的身份，另外一个让我们很不能够自在，就是我们在生活中扮演的身份角色。 当妈妈的永远会是妈妈的，很奇怪吗？甚至你的小孩已经结婚了，有小孩了，你还是妈妈的哦。那个妈妈的魂，那个扮演很久的时候，有没有看到人家提档那样？不自觉这个抓得很紧，记得放下。你来到这世上，不是只有一个身份，一个角色。
当小孩咯，妈妈要当小孩。
妈妈也可以当小孩，妈妈也可以当他的朋友，妈妈也可以当他的神，妈妈也可以当学生，为什么不行？妈妈可以当很多很多的角色，不要把自己绑在一个身份角色里面，
变脸，
这也会让你不自在的地方。
变脸，
该变脸的时候变得很好，然后不要变脸而已，知道吗？要变心。OK， 不然这些牵挂也让我们不能自在。记得你来到这世上，在古代的印度，他把人生分成4个阶段。第一个叫学习的阶段，第一个阶段叫学习，用尽各种的方式去学习，去找到你自己的才能或展现的地方，去探讨你来这世上的使命，去不断的学习。那么第2个阶段是什么呢？你进入家庭，进入社会，去工作，去谋生，去成家，去立业的这个过程。所以把你的身份角色扮演好。多少人觉得做服务很重要的？有去做护士，有做服务的，有吗？有没有这种经验？来生活艺术啦，来团体做服务很重要，对吗？对不对？很好，对吗？请把你的家人服务好，他是你第一个要服务的对象。我不跟你开玩笑，他是真的，是我们需要去服务的对象。如果你能够在那边做服务，你能到庙门做服务，你可以到这个地方做服务，你就很开心，对吗？请用同样的心态去服务你的家人，整理你的家里或诸如此类的，把它服务好。因为2个地方是需要平衡，整理我们的外在和整理我们的内在是一样的道理。让我们的家人成为我们第一个被服务的对象。当然，有些时候他不接受，不要气馁，我们还是在外面做服务，累积更多的福报也好，更多的智慧也好，更多的人脉也好，更多的资源，那我们可以在家做更好的服务。当我们把家里顾好的时候，我们更没有后顾之忧，可以在外面社会、在团体里做更多，2者都要服务。当我们看到哇，你这边有很多回来，很累啊，那个你做那个，有，
直情係跌到直接射嘅，係紅色嘅，係啦。就係一個大嘅輻射。咁所以講咧，你哋去日本咧，千祈唔好試佢啲嘢，同埋買啲嘢翻嚟做手信，送俾你啲親戚朋友，搞到唔死你。
第3個階段，我要跳過。第3個階段就是社會福利階段。
街坊買翻嚟俾我，
這兩邊的都是會福利，這是第3個。
不過我就照收咗。
第4個階段叫好好的休息，
我就會抌咗佢。
因為接下來的議題就是要面對死亡，如何好死，而來世的投胎轉世的這個議題。記得，如果它是一個必然發生的事情，如果你有準備，你的衝擊、你的問題、你的衝突比較少，你的痛苦也比較少。如果你沒有準備，它一樣會發生，好嗎？所以去做好準備。怎麼準備呢？身體的疼痛很簡單，你一定要做運動，你一定要注意你的飲食、你的生活習慣，然後建立很好的、更多的這種親情、友情各方面的支持。我們把這個叫 support system 一個支持的系統。
接受委屈，
你可以接受委屈，然後你可以跨越委屈。記得你可以接受，但不要給別人委屈嘛。但是記得你活在世上不是要受委屈，你活在世上不是來受苦。如果要受苦，只是為你長智慧。如果你受委屈，也是可能你之前給別人委屈，現在來平衡了你 balance account balance。OK， 如果還是受委屈，你感謝神，你以後要還我，感謝這個菩薩。那個銀行借錢要還的對嗎？你要付利息對嗎？所以你很開心的受委屈，真好，他以後要欠我很多。不管怎樣，這只是一種想法，以便讓我們的心真的能夠平靜下來，以便平靜的心才能夠和你的本我和你內在的神性做連接，那你才能夠去跨越它。 否则它又造成你另外一个业，好吗？然后不要有这种认同，当你察觉到我生命是来受苦的，我的生命是来受委屈的，丢掉这一些的观念。我一常说 ，Life is a celebration， 生命是一个庆祝 ，Life is love，Life is joy， is peace。而生命是爱，生命是祥和的，生命是喜悦，生命是很庆祝。过去所受到的委屈，所有的苦都已经过去，一切的劳苦重担，神都知道。不要让它白受就好。
接受先。
对，接受化验它。任何你不能接受的事情，某种程度是因为你失去欣赏它的能力。你可以，人家对你好，你可以不接受；人家带给你快乐，你可以不接受；人家给你美好的感受、愉快的东西，你可以不接受。你感恩吗？感谢吗？一个很简单的道理，你有没有你不能接受的人或事物？有吗？有吗？你讨厌的人或事有吗？请问他有没有朋友？他怎么可能有朋友？你都不能接受的啊？表示他朋友可以接受他，还欣赏他，觉得他很好，那表示是你的问题哦。你知道猪朋狗友，因为他欣赏他，因为猪跟狗会在一起。你要在台湾哦，在台湾我们常常说，有没有听过猪队友这个名词？猪队友、神队友。如果你的团队里面，你的家人啊，你公司的朋友里面有猪队友，你就很生气，对吗？你叫他做这个，他做另外一个；你叫他做，他不要做，或者诸如此类的。在台湾把它称叫猪队友。你知道为什么在你的团队里面，在你身边有猪队友是一个让你们烦恼的事吗？因为你期待这头猪像牛，因为你期待这一头猪像牛一样，很多时候不能接受，是因为你对它有错误的认知或期待。如果你对它没有这种错误的认知，你期待一头猪像猪一样，那是非常好的partner，了解吗？所以不要对自己或对对方有错误的期待或认知。所以这里才提到这个回归本我的4个简单的步骤，去检视我们的认知、我们的概念、我们的观念，我们怎么看待自己。任何关系有这4个简单的角色，一个是你怎么看待你自己，对吗？你怎么看待对方？对方怎么看待你？了解吗？而他怎么看待他自己？如果你不理清楚这4个角色，你在任何身份角色里面都会遇到沟通的问题、表达的问题。你对他这么付出这么多，他觉得你很棒，他觉得你很啰嗦，或者你对他付出一点点，他说你好好哦。尤其跟我们接触的时间真的不多，可是你觉得哇，有他真好，这就是他非常有智慧的地方。所以第一个叫认知，然后把它转变成你自己的智慧 knowledge， 然后再转变成是一种 knowingness， 一种来自内在的了悟、觉悟，然后呢，回到那个知者，回到那个OK， 因为时间的关系了哈，当然可以回去再重看这些书，里面有很多的想法，很多的一些建议。但有一点就是，你要去深信神或佛菩萨或上师一直跟你在一起，你无时无刻都可以呼求他的协助。这是第一个。第二个，你要了解，在你面前的这些人、这些事物，也是神或佛菩萨的化身。它让你不是增长智慧，就是增长慈悲和爱，好吗？然后呢，去了解原来神，我也是神，他也可以是神，好吗？那这样你的生命就不会有死亡的不安，而每个生命会成为一个庆典，而你会很开心来迎接下一段的生命。就是生命是跨越生命，生命是成就生命的一个过程。所以深信这些东西，好的，然后继续练习，然后 回来上课是重要的，因为前几年都 MCU 嘛，大家线上上课，回来复习实体的课程之中，回来团练是礼拜几天？3月1号到6月4。每个今天团练以后每个礼拜4晚上回来团练，然后现在有很难得6天的实体课程。多少人有这种经历来听知识，你就会不自觉，慢慢的，好像听不进去或听不到什么，对吗？去提升你的能量，在我们的身体里面有72000条的能量流通的管道，其中有一条叫 Yan Nadi， 我们的智慧经络，只要那条打通了，你自然就会知晓就了悟原来是这么一回事。所以静奥呼吸是一个很快去提升它的方法，然后呼吸节奏姿势很实用。所以这是8月1号到6号，洪老师还有几位老师？Ashley 老师彩玲老师4位老师会来这边开6天的实体的快乐课程。如果你只有上过线上的，非常鼓励你来上，这会更是很完整的上课。还有，如果你还没有上过课，也欢迎你来上。然后上过课也回来复习，一直沉浸在这知识里面是重要的，好吗 ？OK， 好的，那你还有什么问题吗？
刚才你说到
是
避免要对别人有着不该跟期望，因为有期望就会没有说话。所以，请问这么我们是不是应该不期望的？
然后呢？有没有发现不期望也是一个期望？我如何没有期望？对，所以你的问题是什么呢？我是否要怎么去面对期望这件事情？
那刚才讲到我们会对别人做出一些错误的期望，当你们得到的话，我就有失望。
是，
所以我们要怎么样避免做不可以期望失望呢？
好，期望是什么呢？有没有发现期望有一个特质是一个还没有发生的事情，对吗？然后呢，你把你自己的标准、你自己的期待套在自己的身上，或套在对方的身上，对吗？那你怎么可以让这期望实现呢？唯有你把当下过好，对吗？你怎么让这期望你能够去享受这个结果呢？你在当下，对吗？所以只要你把当下过好，你可以有期望，可以有想法，可以有计划，但是只有在当下可以实现，只有在当下你可以去享受，把心安住在当下，这样就好。然后有期望，然后呢去努力，不管成果好与坏，是否符合你的期望，你都依然的尽心的接受。那这个关于它，OK， 好，谢谢大家。那我们4天的就要到这里，好来，事情说。
好，谢谢老师。
谢谢。